So again, anybody here that's new, you guys want to support me, you want to support my channel, do me a solid, do yourself a solid, try Epic 7 out. There's a link pinned in the comments section of both streams. Use that link to download the game. Start up an alt. Start up a brand new account. Try it out from both ends. See how good the new players have it. But definitely give this game a try. It's going to be a wild 2 months as we cross Epic 7th, 7th anniversary on the 7th day of the 7th month of the year. What a time to kick it off. In which stream I'm making the selector tier list, I'll probably do that off stream because it's hard to burn through those so quickly. If I do it on stream, it'll take like 2 hours. But we can't harp on you and peanut gallery your choices. Fine. Fine, you want to do it? Fine. This is the content you want. This is what you're asking for. Cecilia bot. Tier list. New hero tier list. There we go. Because chat made me. All right, because chat made me, here is your tier list for who I recommend as a selector. I'm going to go through each unit, explain why I'm putting them there, and remember, this will vary a little bit, whether you're new game or end game, so please listen to the description of each unit to understand why I'm recommending them versus just looking at the list and picking willy-nilly. So we got our top category, best units. Units everybody wants on their account. They're super, super good. Make me happy units. These are the units that if you get one, you're glad to have it. Maybe they aren't account breaking, account changing, but you'll be glad that you have them. And then there's units that are just all right. You know, there's your B tier. You'll find uses for them. They're niche. Maybe they're like insane in one spot, but nowhere else really. And then there's the needs a buff. Get on with it, Smilegate. Buff these units. I've already preloaded the units that are not available. Units that are not available include all the collab units, all the limited units, and Robin and Crow. Robin and Crow are not limited, mind you, but they're too new to be available on the selector. So none of these are available from your selector tickets. New or old, collab and limited are right out. And the two newest units from the Epic 6 anniversary or origin event are not available. And I loaded into the you get them for free list all of the units that you can get for free just by playing the game, either from hunt challenges, from Orbis Path, or from your connection heroes, right? Now there's one that is going to be a little bit of an argument, and that is Bellona. Bellona, theoretically, you can get for free, or at least for $1 if you're a new player, and she's kind of worth it. She is actually pretty good. So, if you want to spend the buck on her and consider her for free, that's fine. If you want to be totally free to play, I'm going to put her in the Make Me Happy list. And the reason I'm putting her here in the A tier, a lot of people are like, really? Bellona? It's like, here's the thing, right? If you're a brand spanking new player, Bellona slaps. She'll carry you through so much content. Her AoE debuffs, her ability to throw extra hits. The fact that she's got a built-in Daydream Joker is insane. She saved my life in this game. She was, I was getting ready to quit Epic 7 because I couldn't beat freaking, who was it? It was that jerk Ludwig. That jerk Ludwig. I still haven't forgiven Ludwig for what he did to me in the Abyss. And I was ready to quit this game because I only had, at the start, Kise and Destina. Those were the only two units I had, and life was terrible. Then I got Bellona, and she saved my life. Now, as you get into the middle game, she's still really good. Higher floors of Abyss, some expeditions and things like that, some labyrinth clearing. And then when you get to the end game, she's really only going to be used for farming adventure, and that's kind of it. So the further you are in the game, the less valuable she is. So she's kind of a unit that the longer you play, the lower her value gets. But early on, she's a really good unit. We got Arunka. Arunka looks amazing, is not very good. We got Beehoo. Beehoo has some end game uses, but they're few and far between. I'm just gonna stick them down in the needs a buff category. Aria. All the time people say I oversell Aria, but Aria is freaking amazing. Now you'll hear she is hard to build. This is the duality of Aria. She is simultaneously the easiest and the hardest unit in the game to build. For early game stuff like clearing Wyvern, she is key to one of the easiest Wyvern clears in the game. One of the easiest to gear Wyvern one-shots in the game. She is really, really useful in Guild Wars and in Arena, especially in dealing with the boss Arunka monstrosities. But the further you want to push it, the harder she becomes to gear. But she's a unit that is good throughout your experience. So she is one that I highly recommend. Unlike Birgita, who is one of the best looking units in the game, and at the same time is probably the worst 5-star in the game. The only reason you select Birgita is 1, she is beautiful, and 2, how can Smilegate not give her a buff soon? They really can't let a 5-star be this bad this long. Buff the redheads, Smilegate. Buff the redheads. Speaking of redheads that need a buff, Aramintha really needs a buff. There was a 15-minute window where she was insane, and that window's kind of closed. She's not that good. Her usefulness has peaked a little bit due to Hall Trials and some usability in Rift, but that's transient. Once Hall Trials is passed, once Rift is over, she's going to drop down from being up here to down here. Just because I can't stand having 2 redheads and then need a buff range. No, you know what? Buff the redheads, Smilegate. Buff the redheads. Basar needs a buff. This poor guy. The Basar meta was one of the most terrifying things all of us had to live through. Those of you who are here for the Basar meta, me and my therapist have worked through it. Hopefully you were getting there too. But now he's just not fast enough to do it. Abigail, I'm going to put up in the makes me happy tier because Abigail is an incredibly useful unit. Pro tip, guys, Abigail's anti-death goes through block, so she might be usable in fights against the new ML Tenebria. Abigail is one of the easiest tickets to get your master skin in RTA. She's very useful in a lot of Guild War fights. Oh, and when I say her anti-death goes through block, that's it. The cleanse and the immortality does not, but the anti-death does. So Abigail's an incredibly useful unit, one that newer players will find key to being able to win in Guild Wars. Alencia is just all right. She might jump up here if you have young Senya, but if you don't have young Senya, there's not a lot of uses for her. She's great at burning down high HP targets in Guild Wars. Baal and Sezan is just all right. He's really only got one place in the game. He is the meta hero for Earth Expedition, but that's pretty much it. Ice Flan is just all right. There was a time when she was like freaking used all over the place, but I think Ahmed's just replaced her in many cases. She's harder to use. Her style of cleave's easily countered. She's just pretty. She's a pretty unit. Haste is a great unit to get. Haste and Bellona. Haste is basically Fire Bellona, right? Not really, but in the sense of how useful he is in early PvE. He is great Nightmare Raid, which is going away. Frickin' Smilegate. He is one of the few units that can heal who isn't a Soul Weaver, which is really nice on floors where you need to be able to heal without bringing Soul Weavers. You'll find some good places to use Haste. Man, with Labyrinth going away, though, with Nightmare Raid going away, do we really keep him up here? I think with Nightmare Raid going away, he might just fall down to just... if I could stick him between the tiers, right? Between the tiers. I'm just going to put Haste down here for now. There was a time when he was insane, but I think that time might have passed now that Nightmare Raid's gone. Hwayoung needs a buff. We'll put her down here with the collection of beautiful redheads that need buffed. Ilynav just kind of needs a buff. She's not that good. Jenua is freaking insane. Jenua is a super powerhouse hero. His stocks have gone down quite a bit since Imperium. Ilynav has come on the scene, but very, very good hero to have. Just won a Guild War fight with him today. Fumyr is just all right. Fumyr, if you know how to play the game, you can do crazy things with Fumyr, but she takes a ton of setup, a lot of gear, and some know-how. Not a user-friendly hero. She is probably a 9 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. Kane, holy crap, does Kane need a buff? I'm putting him at the front of the line because I want them to buff Kane first. They make this edgy, insane, super muscled, violent vampire lord, and he was so good during his version of Rift, and then Rift went away, and so did Kane. He really needs to be better. Elvira is an anti-unit. She is she's a nice tool in the tool belt, right? Nice tool for the tool belt. Eligos is freaking insane. I love me some of the Eligos. A little hard to build, but he throws exploding suitcases at people, and that's just pretty cool. Ervalen. Here's the funny thing, right? Ervalen's pretty good. He is a solid green DPS unit, and if his kit was on any unit that didn't look like Prince Joffrey from Game of Thrones, people would probably use him. But everybody hates him, and everybody thinks he needs a buff, and he really doesn't need a buff. He's actually pretty good. It's just nobody likes him, and nobody wants to build him or play him. So, unless they're going to buff him with a skin that makes him not look like Ervalen, I don't know, guys. Cecilia is right beside Baal and Sezan. Cecilia, like Baal and Sezan, is meta in one place, and everywhere else she's kind of mid. Green Celine is a unit you want on your account. Green Celine, first of all, Green Celine counters most of the opener meta, and she is a good counter for the Witch Queen Tenebria, because Witch Queen Tenebria's S3 is a non-attack skill, which will activate your Celine. So she's one of the few actual counters we have to this unit. And she's just really good. The lean, green, bean, mean Celine. You want her on your team. Charles, man. Charles just got a buff, and we all thought he was going to be amazing, but he's just all right. He's just all right. Some people have geared him up and made him do things, but he's kind of hard to use. Fire Charlotte. She's just all right. She's just all right. The nice thing about Charlotte is she always crits. She was she was up here during the Landy meta, but since Landy's gone away, she's fallen down quite a bit. She's just all right. Chloe really needs a buff. Chloe's entire job is basically support and hunts, and there are better options. So, yeah. Chloe got a buff recently, but I don't think it went far enough. Choux. Choux's just all right. Choux and Charles are kind of the same unit. Choux's main job right now is Nightmare Raid, which is going away. Thanks for that, Smilegate. Hopefully they change their mind on that. Newer players will have some success with Choux. Newer players will have some success in RTA with Choux, but she's just kind of hard to use. And Laika is, she's just all right. She's a decent opener, but she doesn't bring that much to the table. Destina's pretty good. Be happy if you get yourself a Destina. I'm not putting these in any kind of specific order, guys. Be happy if you get your Destina. She will carry you through a lot of content. It's nice to have a safety net. A unit that can heal everybody on every single one of her skills heals, and her S3 brings everybody back to life. Her S2 having CR pushes. She will help you out in so many Abyss floors and climbing general content. Ida's just all right. There was a time when Ida was really good, but she's kind of hard to use now. Her damage just isn't enough to get through the insanely tanky meta we're dealing with. You'll find some uses for her in PvE here and there. She's a good solid AoE ice damage dealer, but nothing that's going to change your account. Elena's a very good unit, and you'll be glad you have her. She is a counter pick, and she stops a lot of the nasty things that are out there happening to us in modern Epic 7, so if you get Elena, be glad for it. Fenne is probably, hands down, the most important PvE unit in the game, and I say that looking Brieg right in his face. If you don't have Fenne, you get a Fenne. She is that important to everything you'll do in this game. Just drop everything. Everybody in Epic 7 should have Fenne by the end of this Dash event. Fenris is good in one place, and that is Expedition. And you know what? He's completely replaceable in Expedition by Wukong or Sid or Ram. I think he's best in slot there, but that's about it. I'm not too excited about Fenris, and you shouldn't be either. Kawerik, Kawerik's all right. He gets his job done. Ironically, he's a good counter to Mediator Kawerik, but he just doesn't bring enough to the table. Kayron is really nice. If you're getting cleaved, it's nice to pick up Kayron to be able to stop the awful things that cleavers are trying to do to you. He's one of the better anti-cleave answers, and if you want to play competitively in this game, you should be thinking about anti-cleave answers. Fire Ken, I'm putting Fire Ken, well, you know, Fire Ken's all right. Fire Ken's all right. He is, he gives you access to a lot of high-end one-shots for Wyvern down the road. He's got a dual attack. He's got a guaranteed defense break. There's a lot of things about Fire Ken that's pretty good. But when I look at the people to the left of him, I just can't put him in the same... I can't put him in the same tier. I think he's just all right. I can't put him in the same tier as the other units, guys. I'm sorry. He's really good, but he's not that good. Kise, I love Kise. She needs a buff. She's my first unit. First unit in this game, and I still don't even have her max molid. She has just never been the best freaking unit out there. They really need to give Kise a little something, something. This one's a little tricky. Nah, you know what? If Ken's an all right, he's an all right. He's just all right. You all right? All right. Krau's a good unit to have. It is good to have. He's one of the best RGB knights in the game. You'll be happy you picked up Krau. He's good for baiting out Renox. He is useful with his AoE horse. Be happy you got Krau Lidica. Here's the thing about Lidica. One of the, if not the strongest RGB heroes in the game right now, but she takes crazy gear. If you are mid to late game, you've got designs on PvP coming up soon. Lidica is somebody that you want on your team. If you're brand spanking new, you are probably months away from having any kind of gear or uses for Lidica. She does not really have PvE usages that much, but you can pick her up as an investment hero, but she is super, super strong. Her S2 alone is better than most ML5's entire kits. She is crazy. She needs 300 speed. No, she doesn't. Mine's 295 and works fine. You just gotta make sure the speed that your Lidica needs to be is exactly 5% faster than your enemy. Don't race with her. If you don't have 320 speed, just don't race with her. Lilius. She's just all right. Lilius is key to a lot of situations, but it just isn't used that often. Lilibet needs a buff big time. Lua. Man, remember when Lua came out and me and all the other streamers were like, that's it, guys. Game over. We screwed the pooch now. The world's over. Nobody can beat Lua. Man. Here we are with Lua only being just all right. Ludwig. Ludwig is actually better than people give him credit for. Ludwig is a lot like Ervalen, right? People just don't like him because of his smug face, but Ludwig is actually a decent, solid unit. He's just underutilized. Lulika. So, Blue Lulika. Here's the crazy thing about Blue Lulika. I've described her this way many times, and I stand by it. Lulika is the girl that everybody says is hot, but then nobody asks her to the dance, right? She is really good at everything, but she's not amazing at anything, right? There's always somebody better that you're going to ask to the dance. Sure, she's hot, but there's always somebody a little better. But the nice thing about Lulika is she is a Jane of all trades. While she is a master of none, she does everything for you. So if you are early game and you get a Lulika, be thrilled about it, because anytime somebody says, hey, what's an alternate to this unit? Lulika is going to be the answer to that many, many times. Her kit is amazing. It's just, yeah, she does the barriers, but this guy does it better. Yeah, she does the damage, but this unit does it better. Yeah, she does the attack buffs, but this unit does attack buff and this other buff. There's always somebody a little bit better, but she can slot into all of those spots when you need her. Melissa. I think Melissa, some people are going to say she's just all right, but I think Melissa's a good unit to have on your account. She's a good hard counter to BBK. Her EEs let her be diverse. There's a couple of different EEs you can explore. And for people who are just trying to get their toe in the door, to get their skins, I think Melissa is incredibly underrated in every meta. So I'm leaving her up here. People argue, say she belongs down here. People argue saying she belongs here. People argue saying she belongs down here. And I think those people are being just a little short-sighted. These are all really good units. Mort is one of the... right beside what Fenne is to PvE, Mort is to PvP. Mort doing Mort things, lore accurate Mort, however you want to say it. This guy runs people over, and especially if you pick up young Senya later, oh my god. Turns off all forms of counter except his own. Somehow magically buffs his own counter to 100% every single time you touch anybody. This guy is, if you want to excel in the more difficult PvP portions of this game, you need Mort on your team. Mui, you look at Mui's kit and you think, why isn't Mui better? And I don't know. Please buff Mui so she can be better. Her kit screams, I do everything. One of the only non-rangers that does target. She's got like everything in her kit, but just doesn't do it quite good enough. How do you build Melissa? A little bit of speed, ton of damage. Ton of damage. Knockwall used to be up here, right? She used to seal targets, and that was the most terrifying thing ever. And then Luna came out and AoE sealed. As crazy as this sounds, I'm bumping her down to just all right. There's just so many better options and so few places to use her. I don't think she goes into the makes me happy list. I really don't. Pavel is only good in one place, and that is one-shotting Banshees. So we're going to put him right here beside the other people who are also only good in one place. Peyra is a good, solid unit. The main reason you want Peyra, you ready for the main reason you want to have Peyra on your account? You guys ready for this? It's because you can get these skin tickets from this event, and you can put this skin on her. That's why you're happy to get Peyra, guys. That's why you're happy to get Peyra. Damn. Malgate was cooking hard with that skin. Yes. I mean, if you don't care about the skin, you can move her down to here, right? If you don't care about the skin, you can move her down to here. But I mean, come on, priorities. Politis is kind of a must-have unit. Again, okay, here's the weird thing. She is a soft counter to Tenebria. If Tenebria stuns her with Abyssal or puts her to sleep with her skill, her reaction skill won't proc. She doesn't self-cleanse like Celine does. But as long as she doesn't get tagged with one of those two debuffs, the non-attack skill will activate Politis. Hopefully you can stun some people back, debuff some people back, and then Politis can go. So hopefully you can get a chance to do something. So she's not as hard of a counter to Tenebria as Celine is, but she is a pretty good counter. And also with Ahmed running rough over everybody, cutting CR push in half is huge. So Politis's value has shot through the roof recently. So I think you want to pick up Politis. Ran, I think Rand's just all right, guys. I think Rand's just all right. We thought maybe with the new Hwayoung artifact, Rand might be seeing some additional play, but I haven't seen it yet, and I don't know. I'm sure there's some cleavers out there that are going to rip people apart with Rand, but I just don't think he is a unit that I'm super excited. I've got 2 Rands, and neither of them are built right now, and I'm a cleaver. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just sliding Rand down to just all right until I see something that changes my opinion on it, and all that's going to take is one brand new unit, one brand new artifact to make that change. Probably solid. This is another unit like Bellona that the further you get into the game, the less the value is. A relatively new player is going to use Ravi a lot of places. She will carry you through Abyss, self-healing, damage, self-pushing, AoE stuns, stupid good. Mid-game, she'll be useful in early RTA. She's a great anchor unit. She's one of those units where, like, I can't figure out who to pick. You can just smash Ravi. She's pretty good. And when you get to the end game, she's kind of down here where, like, she's just all right. Maybe you use her once in a while, but not that often. She's basically Fire Bellona, but she's more PvP-oriented, whereas Bellona's more PvE-oriented. And because she slides in all 3 of these categories based on gameplay, I'm putting her right beside Bellona in the makes me happy category. Whether or not you pull Ravi, whether or not you pull Bellona, all that depends on how far along you are in the game. And do you need a good fire DPS that's self-sustaining, a good solid bruiser or not? There's no magic bullet except for Fenne. She's the only unit on the list so far who's good at every stage of the game. Good old Ray's just good old Ray. He's a solid Soul Weaver. Rowana. I've gotten some pushback on Rowana. Say I oversell Rowana too. I don't think I do. Every time we turn around, Rowana has some new and unusual use. I think she is a very, very, very good unit, and she's a tool that you want in your tool belt. With Nightmare Raid going away, maybe she doesn't have as many uses as she does. So you know what? I'm just going to put her right down here at the top of Makes Me Happy. But I think you really want a Rowana on your account. I think you do. I think you really want a Rowana on your account, as opposed to a Schneel who is going to go right beside Cecilia, right between, sandwiched right between. She's part of a Cecilia Baal and Sezan sandwich. Poor Schneel. That's the worst sandwich in the world. Schneel has one job, right? and that is stopping Death Dealer Ray. And we aren't seeing a ton of Death Dealer Rays anymore. His other job is he can solo Banshee, pretty much solo Banshee. So if you want an easy free background Banshee farm, Schneel is it. But other than that, his entire... Now, if the opponent picks Death Dealer Ray, bam, right? The moment the opponent picks Death Dealer Ray, to the top of the list. But that's his only use. He has that one singular niche use, and that is screwing over people that try to drop Death Dealer Ray on you in PvP. Senya, there was a time when she was pretty good at helping you get to Master's RTA, but she has fallen off so far and so hard that I really think she just needs a buff to bring her back into the game. Sez is actually pretty good, but more of an investment hero. I think Sez, like Ervalen, like Fenris, are all just kind of underrated. But all you need is a really good nuker, and Sez can friggin' blow things up. Sharoon just needs a buff. Don't argue with me on this one. If Sharoon defenders are going to say she's fine, you can just use her in all these different places. I'm telling you guys, she needs a little something. Taeyu, Taeyu thinks Auden is hot, and because of that, you know, he doesn't even deserve a buff. We need a whole ass new tier for Taeyu ass. Okay, I'm kidding. Actually, people have found ways to use Taeyu in awful ways, but I really don't think he is all that good. Do I think he needs a buff? I'm not sure he does. I think he's just fine. I think that's it. If Taeyu was a spice, he'd be flour. Taeyu's that anime that you binge watched on Netflix and then a week later forgot all about. It was fun, but it just wasn't that big of a deal. I'm going to save you for last. Tywin is just all right. The people who like Tywin and weave him into comps do some amazing things with Tywin, but he's... You got to be willing to take those steps. Mr. I Will Never Miss is just kind of a pass for me. Vildred, I think, is... Here's the thing. Endgame players, especially cleavers, will love Vildred. He's the only 5-star unit who is a speed imprint, which means he can get up to 12 speed imprint for your team. It is a necessity. He is a fully imprinted Vildred is a necessity for high-end cleave. Not something anybody who's looking at a tier list for advice cares about. Vildred's just all right, guys. He is a great cleanup unit. He's good for adventure. You'll be able to bluff by picking him and watch your opponent ban him, thinking he's an imprint. But once you get to the very, very end game, his value shoots up here, and if you're a cleaver, it shoots up here. But early game, mid game, without imprints, he's just a solid unit. Yeah, without max imprints, he falls down a lot. Violet, also a nice solid unit, good in Guild Wars, very situational. A lot of PvE content rolls out that he's good at. Ironically, you can use him in Tower of Automation and just use him. Literally, just put him on the team. Nobody else, just Violet, and you can solo the entire level 3 Automation Tower, except for the level with Dark Corvus. For that one, you have to branch out a little bit. Euphine, in spite of her buffs, it needs more buffs. Just she's okay. You can use her, but there are better options, and because the better options are significantly better options, nobody uses her. So come on, Smilegate, buff Euphine. We've given her like dozens of skins. How about we give her some skills? Yulha's just all right. She's good in certain situations. Zahak is for people who missed the Overlord collab and need an albedo to kill off their afternoon soak plans. He is also just all right. And the last unit, Tenebria. So let me tell you something about Tenebria. She's just all right. She's very good in expeditions, but much like Lulika, like I said, is usable almost everywhere. Tenebria is usable almost everywhere. And the thing about Tenebria, right, she'll be used on many floors of Abyss. There are oftentimes better options for you to reach for than Tenebria, but there are many times when you need a skill set or a buff or a debuff, and you just don't have a unit that does it, and Tenebria is the answer. But there's one other thing I wanted to mention to you, and for those of you who know you're going to get her, those of you who know you're going to pick up Witch of the Mere Tenebria, she's an imprint for Witch of the Mere Tenebria. Now, I'm not going to go so far as to say you should pull her just for imprints. I'm going to pull her just for the imprints. But maybe you want to think about that. If you've got everything else on the list and you don't know who to pull, maybe you think about imprinting your Witch Tenebria. So I'm just going to stick her at the top of the A tier right now, just because she makes me happy, because I'm wanting that Tenebria imprint, but also because she is solidly a very Lulika level useful unit in the game for clearing Abyss, for handling PvE content, for getting the debuffs you need. Solid unit. And there you go, guys. That is my tier list. I hope you guys are happy with it. That's my recommendation for my selector tickets. Because you asked me to do it, we did it. And this, I think this covers new, mid, and end game players, as long as you listen to what I say about each unit and don't just pick willy-nilly. No. So that's it, guys. That's my tier list. Hopefully it helped you guys out a little bit. Thanks to chat for helping put this together and strong-arm me into doing it. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care, Epic 7.